When we began our Rainmaker project, we started brainstorming on finding a policy that affected us. We first thought about the many problems with red light cameras, how HEB outreach can be improved, how to enhance the Gold's Gym cleanliness policy, and the guest parking problems here at UTSA. We quickly discovered that red light cameras were already being taken down across the state, and our best chance of successfully changing one specific policy would be an overlooked guest parking policy here at UTSA. Policies to change and why. As a group, we figured it would be a huge benefit to UTSA, the current students, future students, and student organizations if we had a parking validation system for our parking garages available for certain situations. This would include parents visiting for orientation, parents coming in just to pay tuition, and special guests coming in to speak at student organization meetings on campus. In each of these scenarios, we thought it would be appropriate to provide 3 hours of validated parking. This would provide parents and guest speakers peace of mind and relatively good parking in our garages when visiting our campus. It affects us because a few of our group members are in leadership in a few organizations and have brought in guest speakers that have had to illegally park on campus or park in a garage. We would ask to have a pre-printed ticket that would validate 3 hours of free parking that would be available at campus services upon request by student organizations, fiscal services for guests paying tuition, and welcome centers for orientation. Game plan. So we had our policies that we wanted to change for the benefit of our campus. Now to determine our expected rebuttals. Loss of revenue, potential for abuse. These are the top two we came up with. So now to come up with our solutions for these rebuttals. Revenue. If the validation program is correctly implemented, we stand to add so much benefits to campus life and guest experience at the small cost of losing a few dollars on parking revenue from time to time. Abuse. Again, if tickets are controlled by a single person in campus services, chances for abuse are very low and would most likely be exposed and corrected in a short time if instances do occur. So now we had to plan our negotiation tactics. Anchoring. Be the first person to drop an anchor, but before you do, gather information to know the bargaining zone, and start with your aspiration price as the anchor, and give a reason to justify your numbers. In our case, it was a validated parking for every situation. BATNA. Best alternative to negotiated agreements. In the meeting, we mentioned the point of view from a guest speaker being asked to return to speak again, and if paying for parking arose in their mind before accepting the invitation. Congruent issue. Preference are congruent. Both our group and campus services wanted to provide encouragement for guest speakers to volunteer their time to come speak to students as well as provide them with the best experience here possible. Shared identity. Find similarities. People want to be with others that share similarities. Cialdini's 6 tactics of influencing liking. Find angles for the decision makers to like us and feel obligated to help us. Setting the meeting. We went back and forth for 3 weeks until we were able to narrow down exactly what reps we needed to meet with and a mutual time to meet. We started with the approach that we had a great opportunity for UTSA to provide the experience they offer guests, but we continuously got shut down until we revealed that we were completing a group project. That's what got us in, but it may have also lost our idea some potential credibility. The meeting and negotiation. We met with 3 reps, 1 from campus services, 1 from parking garage policies, and the 3rd from campus life. Entering the room, we built instant rapport with each person. We then handed out a physical printout of our proposal, laid out our wants, paused to take some clarifying questions from the reps, and then told them our why. We explained how many unofficial or organic events take place on campus by recognized organizations that bring in people from the community. After we got everything out, they casually agreed that our ideas and reasonings were all great, but they already do exist what we were recommending, down to the individual tickets available to student organizations to give their special guests. Naturally, we were a little disappointed, but we realized that we did our due diligence in research and we were not able to find this program anywhere online. So a new issue arose, the break in communication from what campus services had implemented to what the student organizations actually knew. The discussion shifted from our attempts to implement our idea to working with everyone in the room to brainstorm how a better connection can be made from the school to each organization. The recommendation that we ended the meeting with is a easier to spot and more predominant display of a benefit student organizations have access to, including validated parking for their guests. Our conclusion: even after various hours of research through UTSA resources, we were not able to identify that parking validation was already implemented by the school. Even though we were not able to see successful changes in a policy at UTSA, we identified an issue and brainstormed with the proper department heads to see how it can be better communicated.